Hello YouTube. This isn't Natnator. This is Nathan speaking today. I just wanted to make a video to let you guys in on something that's been going on in my life for the last couple of months. I'll preface this video by letting you know nothing will be changing with the weekly creepypasta uploads here, but I have decided to put a hiatus on the gaming channel, and that'll be in effect once I finish the current playthrough. Now, on to the main point of this video. Back in April this year, my dad went to the hospital for what we thought was either bronchitis or asthma. When he returned, he informed us that it was neither. Instead, the doctors had found a terminal stage 3 cancer in his left lung. Back then, he was told he had a year at most left. Although it was shocking news to say the least, I felt that things sort of just kept on moving along as usual. I noticed that he was coughing a lot more than usual, but that was about it. We booked him in to get a second opinion and further scans as soon as possible. A few tests later and a few weeks later, we found out that it was a cancer caused by a melanoma that had metastasized, and fluid was developing in his lungs, which meant he needed surgery. In the middle of the night, I heard a crash that woke me up. Dad had taken a fall, probably for the first time in his life. He seemed okay and I got him into bed, but later that same night he fell again, and we decided to take him to the hospital immediately. He spent a couple weeks there, during which time they found a golf ball-sized tumor in his brain. He had a successful removal surgery for that, and there was a further surgery to put some kind of powder inside the lung to stop the fluid from filling it, and that also appeared to be a success. During this time, it was decided his best chance of extending his life with cancer was through immunotherapy, as it was too far along for surgery, and they decided against chemo. I believe sometime during his stay, he had one round of immunotherapy. On Wednesday, the 10th of June, he came home from hospital with a frozen shoulder. We did our best to make him feel comfortable, but a frozen shoulder is much worse than I'd ever thought it would be. He needed help getting in and out of bed, needed a seat in the shower, and guardrails just to push up off the toilet. Despite that, at this time, I felt that things might finally be able to go back to normal. I looked up physical therapy exercises to help retrain frozen shoulders, and I went through the routines with him every day so that he could be back to normal as soon as possible. But not even a week later, on Tuesday the 16th, I was woken up in the middle of the night as Mum told me that Dad was having difficulty breathing and needed to go to the hospital again. I didn't even change out of my PJs before I drove them both down and waited with him to be taken to ICU. At that time, the doctor finally told us the news that we'd known deep down all along but didn't want to believe. The doctor told us that he had a week or two at best. Mum and I spent many hours with him in the hospital. We urged him to fight and to come back home again. But one night in ICU, he confessed to Mum that he didn't want to fight anymore. They eventually transferred him to palliative care, where he was made very comfortable. At 12:25 AM on Wednesday the 24th of June, just last week, my dad's fight with cancer ended. he passed away very peacefully in his sleep. Mum and I got the call not long after, and once again, pajamas and all, I drove us down to the hospital one last time to say goodbye. To the very end, my dad was just the most gentle and lovable man I've ever known. This all happened within just around 8 weeks. It happened so fast. I don't think I've even fully processed it, but getting it off my chest definitely helps. So, my dad never managed to make it to retirement. He always said he would and kept putting it off. Along with that, Mum mentioned a lot that they promised to spend a New Year's in New York and share a New Year's kiss there. Unfortunately, they'll never be able to make that dream happen now. My takeaway from this, for you guys, is to cherish the people you have in your life, including yourself. If there's something you want to do by yourself or with others, don't delay. Go and live your life. You never really know when you won't be able to make your dreams a reality anymore. I think it's suitable here to quote The Office, just to raise spirits a bit. I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days, before you've actually left them. Someone should write a song about that. Anyway, I wish I could say I did this next thing in response to finding out that my dad had cancer in the form of a metastasized melanoma. It would definitely make a good story, but really it was just a coincidence. Either way, back before we found out, I did a bit of freelance work creating a basic animation with voiceover for the Hunter Melanoma Foundation, who are a local Australian foundation creating awareness about sun safety to prevent melanoma. The video I made is actually on their homepage at hmf.org.au. I'll put it in the description. It's a skin check guide on how to check and protect against melanoma. I find it kind of fitting that in some way I've been able to help people in the future protect themselves from having to go through such a terrible situation, either as someone with melanoma or a friend or family of someone suffering from it. I hope you guys will take care and be aware as well. But back to the present, we'll be holding a funeral for my dad this Friday, and I hope that in time I can move on and make him proud.